So I would like to begin the Board of Health meeting for Monday, June 8th, 2020. This will be a remote meeting, and in keeping with the ongoing emergency order from Governor Charlie Baker to limit gatherings and maximize social distancing, and under legislation passed to address remote board meetings during the emergency declaration, this meeting will be conducted over Zoom. Attendance by board commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count toward quorum. The meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. To join a remote meeting using your computer, click on the URL at the top of the meeting agenda or copy and paste it into your browser. To join a remote meeting using your phone, call the number provided underneath the URL. You will be needing the meeting ID to join by phone. So this afternoon we have two missing Board of Health members, Tim Myers, health agent, and Lynn LeBlanc.
Nope.
Oh, is she here?
She's there. She's just got to, Lynn, you just have to turn on your mic and your video.
Nice job, Aria.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, there you are.
Gotta figured it out.
Excellent.
Thanks. Sorry, guys.
No worries. I just did the whole spiel about the, the Zoom meeting remote work. So if you want to kick off with minutes, we should be good to go.
You have the agenda in front of you. Go ahead, because the agenda is left on my other computer, and if you don't mind.
Of course, absolutely. So the first meeting on the agenda is to approve the minutes for both May 11th, 2020 and May 20th, 2020.
Motion to accept the minutes is read.
Second.
And roll call.
Mills, aye.
LeBlanc, aye.
Zayas, aye. Next on the agenda, we have no variance requests. So we're going to move right into the Title V reports, the first being for 11 Laurel Drive.
Okay, what we have here is a situation, we've had this happen a couple of times. A Title V was done on 11 Laurel Drive, and the Title V was submitted as a failure. The homeowner went and got a second opinion from another Title V inspector, and they have passed the Title V based on what they did from doing further investigation. The Title V, the board's decision will be to choose to pick which Title V to accept based on the information given from both Title V inspectors. I believe we have Brittany from Sewers and Mike Bossy from Bossy Construction. Are they with us today, Kristen?
So I see Mike Bossy, and then I see is Kurtz the name of the homeowners?
Yeah, Fred Kurtz.
Okay, I'm going to promote Mike to a panelist so that he can talk. I do not see the other person.
Okay. I did link in the agenda to the other person with instructions today via email as you request. And Mike Bossy was sent it as well.
Okay, and I'm adding the homeowners as well. So Mike and I think Mr. and Mrs. Kurtz, you just need to unmute your microphones and turn your video on. I lost Mike.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We lost Mike though.
Okay.
Do you want to try texting him real quick, Mark?
Yes, not a problem.
Actually, no, I have my phone. I can, oh, all right. He was there. I promoted him.
Is he back?
No.
Okay. All right, let me text him.
This is not a good night for technology.
No, we're definitely technology challenged tonight.
Yeah.
The new era of Zoom.
When it goes well, it works really well. When it goes bad, it goes really bad.
Yeah, I just texted him to log back in.
Okay. All right, and there he is. So I'm going to promote him to panelist. And where, any? He's doing something because he's disappearing every time he tries to, I promote him and then he disappears.
I know it was his first time ever Zooming, so. Say pep.
If he wants to just call in, Mark, on the call-in number, I can allow him to speak.
Okay.
I think. Oh, here he is again. I'm just gonna hit allow to talk and see if that helps.
Okay.
Mike, can you hear us? Mike, are you able to speak to us? Oh, I see him. There he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
How's it going?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Great.
So, we can't see you, but we can hear you. Do you
Okay.
want to tell the board what's going on with this one from your perspective?
Sure. I was asked to come over to do a Title V inspection after a failure. And we went over, the D-box was still excavated. We opened it up, one pipe in, one pipe out. Water level was right where it was supposed to be. So we went down. It's a leaching bed with a row of chambers with a pipe through the middle, the old rechargers. They were H20. We've actually located the end of a chamber off the as-built, drilled a hole in the top and added an observation port. And the chamber was bone dry at the end where we could still see the 4-inch pipe coming through it. The sand at the bottom was clean. So I had Mark come out, witness it. I went there today and double checked it. The chamber is still dry. So I'm not quite sure what exactly, happened before I got there. So but right now I didn't see any evidence of any failure or anything. So I don't know what happens next.
What we usually do is have the other Title V inspector explain why they failed it and what the board would make Title V to accept. But I do not know why the other Title V inspector, maybe they didn't get the email. We did call and contact, and email was given twice, or the spelling was correct, and have not heard back yet. So, I did witness, I did go to the property just for curiosity's sake. It's not the Board of Health's decision to decide whether a system passes or fails. But just out of curiosity, I did see that
So
Any-
Mark, you're breaking up pretty bad.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm right next to my,
Kristen, let me ask you a question. Does the board have the power to approve it based on Mike Bossy's Title V inspection, or is this something that we can table? I mean, I'm fairly familiar with this type of septic system and I know what they're talking about.
Yep. So the way Title V is written is if there's two conflicting reports, it's in your hands. You typically would listen to both sides and they would both explain why they judged it to be in one condition or the other. And then it would be ultimately up to your decision. Mike and Mark, can you come up? You've spoken with the other inspector. Is there a reason you think? Did it have something to do with the placement of the holes in the pipe? Did it have, was there more you could explain?
I believe from what I was told is that they did they pressure washed, oh, for lack of a better term. They pretty much what they did is they stuck a tube down the hose and backwashed the tube, and there was some carryover into the pipe, and that's why the person failed it, because there was a little carryover into the pipe. As far as I know, I don't know that that's a reason for failure. It's what I was always told for Title V inspections is you look at the invert of the pipe and see where the water is at the time of inspection. It's like taking a Polaroid picture at the time of inspection. If the water line is at the invert of the pipe, it is a pass. So that's what what I know. But I don't know it to nauseam of what the actual reasoning for failure of the system was.
Can we show, we have proof that SOARS was notified of this meeting? We have documentation that she
was called Myers, and I emailed her today. So
Okay.
we honestly, go ahead.
I'm wondering, and Chris, you do know much more about septic than I do, and certainly, you know, Mark and Tim, but I'm wondering, is this something people would suggest we table till next month? I feel like I don't have a really.
Well, let me ask Mr. and Mrs. Kurtz, is this Title V inspection hanging you up on any real estate transactions or anything like that?
Yeah, we do have a signed purchase and sale.
You do? Okay.
Yes, we do.
You know, where it's Mike Bossy, who's one of the most reputable Title V inspectors. It's on his license. I'm inclined to make a motion to pass based on his observations. The water level is at the correct level at the outlet invert. The tube was dry. Given that chamber, that type of system, especially if it was, Mark, did you say they hydrojetted it just to clean it out?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 100% comfortable making a motion to pass, but you know, that's my one vote. But
Just for clarification, Chris, your motion would accept one title over the other. You're not motion to pass it. You're just going to accept one
Yeah.
Title V.
right, so I'm completely comfortable making a motion to accept Mike Bossy's Title V report.
Seconded.
So Aria seconded it. So then all that's left to do is a roll call vote, and if there's no more discussion.
Lynn, I don't know who's doing this, but we'll do a roll call
What?
vote.
All right, do the roll call.
Okay.
Aria?
Oh, roll call. But I'm last. Zayas, aye.
Mills, aye.
LeBlanc abstain.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to demote you from the panel and tell you to have a good night.
Does that mean it's approved? I'm sorry, I'm just making. sure.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Mills made a motion to accept Mike's report
Okay,
as the official report,
okay,
and the board voted 2 in favor of, 1 abstained, so the motion passes.
okay,
Mike's report will be the report of record.
okay. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Good luck to
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda is an update about the novel coronavirus.
Just get them off of the screen. There we go. Okay. So we are officially today into phase 2 of the governor's reopening plan. With phase 2, we're seeing a whole different group of sectors having the ability to reopen. So we are busy. One of those sectors is food establishments, restaurants that will be allowed today to begin doing outdoor dining. With that, places that don't already have outdoor dining, there are conditions that go along with the outdoor dining and table spacing and capacity and everything else. Along with that, though, there have been some changes in laws up at the state level, and there's been some work going on locally to put together a policy that at this time, the selectmen it's in front of the select board right now. Should the policy be adopted, it actually implements a lot of the changes that were made at the legislative level, as well as a lot of cooperative work that's been done in town hall to help expedite these applications and get these places going as quick as possible. The process involves one central application. We all have it's one central email that automatically gets forward to all of us. And we'll all be able to work quickly to get these things going. Things that have happened at the state level are extending the alcoholic beverage licenses out into these outdoor areas without having to go back for a modification of their permits. And all of this, again, should be viewed as temporary. This is an emergency response to an emergency declaration. When the emergency no longer exists, these approvals go away. So we're taking a look at them from our standpoint. There's not a lot really, other than once they do go into a split between indoor and outdoor, we'll be monitoring to make sure they don't exceed their septic capacity. And they all know that. Other than that, the one thing we're checking on is looking at the spacing of the tables and the ability for a person to get up from a table and have a clear pathway that is at least 6 feet wide to a restroom. Or back to their car or whatever. We're also just providing technical support to any of the restaurants and some ideas for them for how to get around certain things. The more we see of these, the more we'll be able to share, hey, this is working down the road, this isn't working. Things the group is looking at and have provided guidance on involve barriers that will potentially stop a car so that the diners are safe. We've looked at tent sizes that require permits, don't require permits, but it's really a testament to the cooperation that is going on, even though none of us can sit in a room together and work on anything together. Us being able to very quickly pull together a policy, a procedure, and actually have it in front of the select board tonight. And with its adoption tomorrow, I anticipate it actually assigns the ability to approve these over, they'll be endowing Connor with the ability to approve these without going in front of them. So I think that by tomorrow night's dinner hour, you're probably going to see a good number of people that are approved to go ahead and start doing this, which will be a welcome change. You know, as you guys know, I live in Rhode Island and I've dined in a couple of restaurants, and it really is refreshing to go out and have something else to do. And the outdoor, you know, it's everybody's personal choice. I felt quite safe the time I've done it, the times I've done it. So hopefully it will help our businesses be able to get a little bit of equity and a little bit of income rolling. Some may choose to just wait because once we enter the second half of phase 2, which could be in a week or two, they would also have some indoor dining options. So some may just see how it goes, but we definitely have, I think, at least a half a dozen that are very interested in trying to get open tomorrow. So that's what's going on with that. Our caseload, as you know, I had updated you, we've stopped posting on a day-to-day basis. Part of that is we were seeing kind of an ebb and a flow. We've had, because there is easy access now to testing at the long-term care facilities, and we're seeing some repetitive testing there, which is kind of a model they're going for, you know, just go ahead and test them, go ahead and test them. So we were seeing, we had 2 instances where staff was reported as living there. So we had spikes of 10 people, and then those cases got reassigned to the towns where the people live. So our numbers were doing some really funky things. I think the other problem, and I had mentioned this before, we were reporting the day they hit Maven. What the state has gone to is actually reporting on the date that the test was done, which is a much fairer representation of where the positives are, because some tests are coming in the same day, some are, you know, taking 4 or 5 days to report, and it's much easier to look at the state's numbers and see them being charted by the day that the test was actually done. We continue to, you know, promote and move forward. Swimming pools are coming online. That's going to be a challenge. Camps are coming online. We had a Zoom meeting that we offered up to all of the camp operators last week, giving them an opportunity to ask questions. We took a number of those questions to the state, and we're still waiting on some answers for them. The camps have a little bit of wiggle room in that the last day of Easton schools is next week. But some of them will be looking. Others have already made their decisions and are not planning on opening this season. We heard from, was it one pool today, Mark, that said that they don't plan on opening their
Correct.
Their pool. So that is where we are on the COVID front.
May I ask a question, Kristen? I'm
Yes.
wondering if not just in Easton, but in other communities, if there's been any uptick, or it may be too soon to say, with all the protesting and rallies that have been going on in COVID cases?
I don't think that there has been anything. I think we're still in that incubation period for the most part. I do know that the message has been going out, and if you do look at any of the footage, you will see there's a large majority of people, I would say, that are wearing masks, even though they're not abiding by, you know, the 6 foot of social distancing. There are a real high number of participants in these different events that are wearing masks. So it will be interesting to see what we see 2 weeks from now, whether we see cases overall go up around the state, and whether or not we'll be able to, we may be adding that question into the profile as to whether or not you were I think it is actually in there. It's just we haven't had really need for it because people haven't been gathering. So that's surely something that'll be collected on cases that start to evolve in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
Great. So the next item on the agenda is the Arbovirus, Tick-Borne and Mosquito-Borne illnesses.
So the Department of Public Health has a EEE conference call scheduled for this Wednesday. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to attend. My daughter's actually graduating on Wednesday, so we'll see. Mark will be there either with me or in place of me to handle that conference call, so that the office will gather the information. Mark, why don't you talk a little bit about the work you did with ECAT, and that we're hoping now that we have it, to use it beyond its normal scope.
Okay, so approximately a week and a half ago, I went over to ECAT and did a Bite Lab presentation and had it filmed so I could send it to the schools so they could send it out to the entire 4th grade class. The level of the presentation is for about a 4th grade educational level. So what we can do is use it and post it up on our website. It'll be in the form of a YouTube channel. So we'll just give the teachers the YouTube channel. I'm still waiting from the cable network, the Eastern Cable Network, to ECAT to give me a copy of it so I can forward it on to the people at the schools. So that way, I usually do go over to the schools and teach the entire 4th grade, but this way they still get it in at least video format.
And it's going to be a valuable tool in that we can put it up either on our website, we can direct people to it, and it'll just be one more opportunity for us to engage with the community and get some very valuable information out there.
Great. The next items on the agenda, we have 2 Betterment applications. The first is for 44 Brook Road.
Okay, I'm covering for Tim down on vacation today. We have a betterment application for 44 Blackbrook Road. They are asking for an amount of $35,530 right off the bat. They already have estimates and their engineering covered. So that's really what they're looking for. They're all set with all their proof of 5, and everything's up to date as far as taxes and bills and everything.
I'd make a motion to approve the Betterment application for 44 Blackbrook Road.
I second.
All those in favor by roll call?
Mills, aye.
Blank eye.
Sias, aye. And then our last Betterment application is for 43 Kevin's Way, which is an increase of $14,000.
Yes, I guess they went. They had the original application for $30,000 max, and with the estimates coming in with engineering and the estimates for the system coming in, they're looking at a $14,000 increase, going to $44,000. And Kevin's Way, I know that the systems, they use a lot of sand to build them, so it makes sense.
I'll make a motion to approve Kevin's Way. The Betterment
I
application.
second.
All
I
those in
second.
favor by roll call?
Mills, aye.
LeBlanc eye.
Sias, aye. And that concludes the agenda with the exception of any inspector or agent reports.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor by roll call?
Mills, aye.
LeBlanc eye.
Zayas, aye. Meeting adjourned at 5:39 p.m. on Monday, June 8th.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
everyone.
Very
Much,
good.
everyone. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties on this end.
Oh, I was challenged getting it started, so thank you all.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
night.
Have a good night.
Sorry.
Bye.